So, welcome, Boyd and Rochelle. Both will be doing a duo on the topic that we have failed relationships and how persons handle it mentally. So, welcome, Boyd, and welcome, Rochelle. How are you guys doing?
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
That's good.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, Boyd, I saw an article today and I saw where a 23-year-old is involved with a guy. I'm not certain if it was a case where she's going to break off things with him. The relationship was getting rocky or something, but she was unlived by him and he also took his life. And this had become, this is such a trend, and I'm just wondering where things went wrong. Why can't people just, go their ways and just leave the person alone? What do you think was your take on that?
Phenomenon that is happening now where I would say the younger generation, or you call them Generation Z or whatever, they don't know how to handle rejection. In any case or form, they just don't know how to handle rejection. They don't know, they think it's the end of the world. So if it's not my way, it's the highway set situation. And I don't know if I should blame social media for that, but it's very out of this world type of thinking, out of this normality, out of my normality. Why would you want to go and do something like that? Somebody who you once loved or you had a relationship with, you want to kill them, or unalive them, as them said. I don't understand why would you go to that extent. It's just, to me, it's crazy. And you tend to think about why people go that route. Do they have mental issues that are not being addressed? It's those are the things that come to mind. They weren't taught properly of how to handle. Nobody's actually taught properly of how to handle life. Life throws things at you. You just have to deal with it as they come along. But there's no way you can say, okay, I don't want to live anymore, and make that choice for somebody else that you are in a relationship with. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Rochelle, from a female's perspective, what do you think went wrong with that type of relationship?
Okay, before I jump into actually answer that question, I noticed that that you actually made a statement about the younger generation. Why do you think it's just the younger generation? Because I've heard other articles pertaining to certain things that's like that has happened, and it's not really a certain age or that type of generation.
It happens mostly in the younger generation age group, though. If you look at
exactly what age groups do you think that usually
if you look
happens?
at the statistics between age 19 to 30, you don't really find, unless there's something detrimental happening to a 50-year-old where he will go out and do that, or she will go out and do something like that. I mean, 19 to 30 is the range that the age group is in where they do those things. Go look it up, research it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it's a new phenomenon, but it does happen more often in that group. Not say that it doesn't happen in any other age group, but as I said, since social media come into play, a lot of other things coming into play with it. And most of the age group that are into social media is from 19 to, I would say, maybe 45, but it's more intense between the 19 to 30 age group. It's way more intense in that age group.
And
some people live on social media, get their career on social media, get paid on social media. Social media is their life.
true. You emphasize a lot on social media, though.
Yeah, they have them just like how you have like influencers. And I think there's also people that's in their 50s that's also having the light as well, where it comes into social media as well and what you're putting out there as influencing on the outside. Because you have people that's older than 45.
Yes,
because I feel like social media doesn't really have an age. I don't think they actually have an age. I don't think they actually have.
Do the research. Do the research.
Where
do the research. If you do the research, you'll find out that it happens mostly in the younger generation. And it's because of how social media is set up. It is set up for you. It is set up for the person to either absorb it or set up for the person to actually create it. So if you want to create a life that is not in your authentic self, you can actually create a life like that on social media. But once it starts to crash, you don't know how to deal with it. That's your life, and it crash. So you get to feel that there's nothing more to go on after that. You remember, you can tell a lie in social media and it becomes truth, in less than 2 or 3 minutes. Your lie is real. You can put up videos. Say take on a video of you vacationing somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a sequence of videos. It's the same vacation that you're actually documenting, but you spread it over a period of time to make it look like you're living a vacation instead of just going on vacation. And people believe that you live at these places, you can afford to go to these places every weekend. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have that kind of power on social media.
Some people's lives are actually like that, though.
Huh?
It's a life that you have a lot of people that actually live that life, and it's really, really authentic. But it's how some people receive certain things and how they would want to. Because there is a lot of people. I do agree where there's not much authentic people out there.
The people who live that lifestyle are in the 1 percentile. But tell you the truth. On social media, the people who can afford to live that lifestyle it's not everybody can afford to live that lifestyle. Not everybody can choose to live that lifestyle too.
True. That's true. But then again, how do we know if those people can live those lifestyles if we don't know them?
Then you have the people who
That's
fake the lifestyle.
Too. How do we know if they can't afford that lifestyle if we don't know them? Because people can see us and think that, we can't live that lifestyle. But why would we sit and think that somebody can't live that lifestyle when we don't really know them? That's just a person you see on social media. And that's, I think, is another thing where people not seem to realize, like, just because you're maybe not living that lifestyle or something like that, that doesn't mean that other person can't live that lifestyle. We don't know that person. So how do we know how that person can live? Really don't know them. A lot of these things that are put out on social media, it's just people putting things out, but we don't know them. So you can hear something about somebody and they can be like, this person is this and that. We don't know them. It's just by what we're only seeing, and we're just summing up things within our head. And
you can get to know them, though. You can get to know that person, though. You can get and you'll research and you'll get to know them. They don't really live that lifestyle. The ones that I have encountered, the social media influencers that I have encountered, don't really live that lifestyle. Times 10.
Well, that is true. But I would believe that since we have social media, persons would be like having access to the information of how to deal with certain mental illnesses and but you find that the persons are promoting and they're celebrating the whole toxic lifestyle, you know, and then there's a filter going around, which I don't think it's funny. It shouldn't have been a trend on at all, where they have this filter where it shows where the person's been abused, and I'm like, this is not funny, and they're just getting reaction from other persons, just using the filter, taking a picture, send it to whoever, and just getting their reaction and saying, oh, somebody beat me up, and I'm like, why would they make something like this a trend? Why are they celebrating something like this?
It don't take none for a lie to become truth. And how it becomes truth on social media. When a million people believe the lie, it becomes truth immediately,
Yeah, once it reaches the media, trust me, it's like there's no turning back. Because even if you delete certain content, there's still prints.
If you can use it properly, even if your intentions are to create havoc on it, you will be able to create havoc and lead a lot of lives astray because of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to understand with persons who they see other person's story. I don't know if they believe say it not gonna reach for them doorstep or something. But why is it becoming such a trend so often? These females dying within the relationship they want to leave, or it's very minimal. Let us say a news outlet for say, the female unlive the guy. Why? Why is this happening again? Realize it's becoming seasonal. Like, last year for a good period of time, women are being unlived. And then it just kind of get a break, and then the next season again are the same thing. What's really going on? Is it just really social media?
Christmas, Valentine's Day, put pressure on people.
And birthdays.
And birthdays too, yeah.
Birthdays.
Anything that you would celebrate as your personal little celebration would become toxic to somebody else who don't see you in that light. And social media will amplify those feelings.
Yeah, because you wonder how this person get this vehicle for their birthday. What happened to my partner? My partner couldn't buy the vehicle.
How come I don't get these things?
Yeah, true.
When a woman
so there's comparisons.
I want a ring that costs $50,000 or $500,000 US for a wedding ring. Where your mind there?
In the value, the rocks.
Yeah, in the value. I want a $500,000 engagement ring.
Oh Lord. Yeah, I think what's happening now is people are buying people's emotions.
You're not in this hemisphere at all where your mind is. That is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's what she sees and that's what she wants.
Yeah.
So anybody who she wants to date have to be in that stratosphere who can afford a $500 ring. And I don't know who that is. You understand? Because
I think women do that too.
$1 billion, you're not going to spend $500,000 on a ring.
Yeah, so most of the pressures are really coming from validation.
That some women do that.
Yeah.
Some women do that. Not all, but there is some that do.
Yes, but then I saw that on social media. So if I can see that on social media, millions of other people will see that same video and somewhere say, yeah, I think I'm worth $500,000.
Right. It's gonna basically just sit right into the algorithm. So persons are just gonna watch it, and then this person watch it and become so popular. So you find that even if you are not interested in it, it's gonna just pop up on you.
Yep.
So basically we just boil down to social media is the greatest influence. It doesn't matter which aspect you're taking it from. That's where the root of everything coming from, and validation is causing the pressure for a lot of folks.
And then you have the cheating aspect of it as well. You see, social media also exposes a lot of these things as well. You cheat, the person take up your phone, look on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever, find out that you're making these dates, find out, and then go into WhatsApp and find out, say you're talking to this person and sending pictures.
Oh,
it's
Lord.
Crazy.
So it's a web. It's a web of dangers.
That person will be analyzed because now you know what, you don't value me. You
right.
don't value me, so you don't value whatever, you don't value me. So, yeah.
So when I even said
that's
that
where
too,
it
I
ends.
remember a post said, if you want to know the person, true self, look in their phone, and that's dangerous because you're basically putting out there that you're seeing a person physically, but once you get in that phone, you realize who they are virtually, and that's their true
I
self.
always say, if you look into somebody's phone with an intention, you're going to find
What you're looking
whatever
for.
it is. You're going to find it,
Yeah.
regardless if it is, what you call it here, honest, an honest call, an honest conversation between two people. You're going to go between the lines, and you're going to create something that is not there.
But what when you actually see? What when you actually see?
But it's your mind playing games on you, but you want
no
to,
man, no, I'm gonna disagree with that one there. No man, I'm gonna disagree with that because not often is your mind. Sometimes really and truly you have persons who do have the gut feeling that what I refer to as discernment type of spirit. So not all the time I would say just the mind playing games. Because when you do actually see, what you don't want to believe that it's there, how do you handle something like that? Tell yourself saying I really see it? Tell yourself I just a mind? How you handle something like that?
I have some male friends who go above and beyond. I only see them think that happen in a movie. And I say, you actually do that? Oh,
too much lifetime.
Bugger car, bugger phone.
Oh wow! No man, that's when. No man, no sir. That's a narcissist behavior.
I was like, that's crazy. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, that's a different level of control.
Then what you going to do? But he's married, by the way. So, he and married for, invested in the relationship a certain way. What I said,
and that is where the problem lies. He's invested into it.
There's no coming back from that kind of behavior. You're not going to trust nobody again. You're not going to trust her. You're not going to trust anybody who come into your life. If you're going to separate from this person, they're going to lead you down. And I had to have sessions with this person to stop him from doing that.
But what really caused him to start doing stuff like those? What led him to do,
he suspected
the whole
that she was
control?
And she was.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. But he was gathering evidence. He was creating a case.
Okay.
So he needed to create that case by having, your direct evidence, so to speak.
Something more
tangible. And I said, okay, so you have the direct evidence. You're going to divorce her, or you're going to forgive what she's doing and then talk it out and move on with your life because you have a young kid. You have a wonderful life living together. It's just you don't need to work out your small differences. If that is the case, work it out.
But what was his first red flag?
Work it out.
What was his first red flag to really think that she was actually cheating?
She shut down.
But could it become? I mean, we can understand that females are the males at times can shut down. But it can also, I'm not going to pick any side, but sometimes we have to take it from a different perspective. What would have caused her to just, I don't know if it's a sudden shutdown. Yes, probably we can look at it and say, okay, yeah, because of that him suspect cheating. But it's a case where he just stopped doing certain things, now pay attention to her a certain way, and just kind of busy certain way, and then probably dismiss her a certain way. So there's so many factors that plays, and probably only going to know his side.
They're guilty of both of that. That's on both sides.
Okay.
But, what I wanted to say is that the first thing she would go and do to the person who she wants to jump out of the relationship with is actually put down her spouse. Because he would tell me the conversations that she had with him, and the first thing is that he can't have sex, he don't know if he have sex properly, and she can't make him come, or things like that.
Oh, so she basically opened up her marriage, so she put it at risk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the man swoop in and say, I am your knight in shining armor, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But then you realize that those things are fantasies that you create in your mind. Okay,
Yeah.
this person
She basically gave him
would just,
a guideline, like, hey, you know, this is not happening. So he's like, all right, don't worry yourself. I can do all those stuff. You don't worry yourself.
right.
And just scoop her up.
And it's possible that he could.
Yeah, man.
But that's all
like
he's there for. So it's not like if you want him to build a house with, want him to build a career with, want him to build, you understand, our life with. But you're going to go, it's like the 80-20 rule.
Mm-hmm.
No, this person is, the grass is always green on the other side of the fence. So you jump over the other side of the fence and you realize that the 80% that you had over the other side gone.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Rochelle, how you think the dynamics?
Fulfilling one side of your relationship.
The dynamics of it going.
That needed fix. And if it does work on your spouse, it could probably fix it for you. It's not costing them off or whatever.
Yeah, that I agree with them with that part on working things out. And I feel like there's always a way of working things out with the person.
Yeah. You can work anything.
I definitely truly believe.
As long as you have that narrative in your head that he's a no good nobody and him is a bum on the couch, then that can't fix. You have to fix that narrative first. Or else he will be the bum on the couch. He will actually, you project that on him, he will turn into that.
Yeah, and that's basically how you're going to see them, because you create a narrative in your mind, and then now your eyes are now the projectors, like yes, definitely, see there, can't see nothing different. This
is what they have become. This person, we used to have sex like rabbits, and we used to love each other, and blah blah blah, and was turned into this jackass on the couch, I don't know.
And that's a problem, as I mentioned, about fantasy. Persons fall in love with the fantasy, but they're not remembering that, hey, there is a phase where everything is fantasy, and then the real deal step in. How are you going to handle that? Do you actually connect with this person emotionally, or you just wanted to have a fun time with them? If it's a lifetime partner, you have to be careful. You have to be careful.
Both.
You have to be careful.
It depends on which dragon you want to feed. You know, you have the dragon that say, all right, let us work things out and become this couple. But it's not going to happen immediately. That's another thing.
True.
They want it now. I want it now. I want you to change your ways now. You know what I mean? And that's a very unfair practice. Change it now. I don't like these things. Change it now. You have been this way for most of your life. And all of a sudden you must change to suit her narrative. That don't make no sense.
Listen, I think it goes both ways, but yes, you find that more females would demand a change. You know, well, you know, you must can change. I can't lock in another way that just you have to change. But yes, it is upon the person to change, but everything is a procedure, everything is a process. It takes time. And if a person has been that way for quite a while, it's gonna take some time. So it's have to make up a mind
for it to change, because they got so comfortable.
Yeah, they got comfortable. Exactly. No, when I say it's gonna take time, you know, I mean say it's not gonna be overnight. It's a process. The only thing that you should think about is that they accept, say yes, I'm going to change. So once them accept, say yes, they're going to change. Yes, them acknowledge them have the problem, then no, you can't go forward. But if them just sit down there and say, boy, I just saw me stay, you know, then they're not going nowhere, that person there. If them say that's a summer stay, well, yes, I have to angle it. You didn't know a summer stay, so what's up?
And you know, I'm starting to realize lately now it has been like that, where I see a lot of people be like, well, this is how you found me, and this is how this and that, and it's like, I don't feel like that's how it should turn out to be. Mm-mm. I feel like with two people, you guys started this, so it's just like, hey, let's fix things. But you have some people be like, well, this is how you found me. This is how I am. This time, this is not, because they're stuck in their ways and they feel like, okay, they don't want to change. And I feel like, is another sign of showing that they don't want to change. And I feel like it has to be a certain situation or something that has to happen for them to feel like, okay, I want to change.
People, there's something that's been said, even on social media, very often, people change who people change for who they want to change for, or change for what they want to change towards. So everybody can change. Some people can have overnight, some can't. It's a process, but people change for who they want to change for.
Mm-hmm.
So really and truly, there's some truth to that.
I made a massive change in my relationships. And I honestly, I used to be the one that always have to change, because I don't put those things on my partners. You have to be this way. You have to change to be this way. You have to lose weight and blah. I lost weight and my partner found me unattractive.
Mm-hmm.
I lost 200 and almost 250, 220 at home. And when I was that, she looked at me and said, I'm not attracted to you anymore. You know what? How that mash up your mentality. Now, that's saying that you lose weight just because of her, because you want to lose weight because you want to live a more healthy lifestyle. Yes, but she's also a part of why you're losing the weight, and a catalyst in it as well. And she did fat. You understand? Mm-hmm. So when I lost the weight, more likely it's because I was getting more attention than her. You know, oh, you lose weight, boy, you look good, man, and wait. But that is for a time. Afterwards, those compliments would die down because them used to at this size now, you know. But she couldn't handle it. And because she couldn't handle it, she told me that she was not attracted to you, to me anymore. So when that happened to me, man, that was like my whole world was crashed. Right? So, but did I unalive her? Oh, hell no. Right. Life goes on.
That's true.
You know, you have to come out, you have to see yourself as a better person on the other end of that scope. You have to go through, you have to learn what you went through and come back out at the other end a better person. You know, but I guess people don't have that within themselves to work things out with themselves to see that. I'm going to tell you something. It is very hard how people treat people and how people treat themselves. We tend to lie to ourselves the most than we lie to anybody else, you know. We lie. We tell thousands of lies to ourselves every day, every minute of the day, just so that we can cope with this life. You know, so when bad things happen, we don't know how to deal with it because we are lied to ourselves. This is that. That happened because of that. And, you know, that happened because your brain does think. You understand? And it comes and it just regurgitate that over and over until it becomes a program. And then you just live by that program. We are programmed from slavery. If you're a black person that live in Jamaica, that live in America, we're programmed from slavery. It's a horrible thing that we went through doing slavery. Horrible something went through that. We don't come from that is, you know, is embedded in our DNA, you know. And the cycles that started from then come down the line generationally until it reach us. Remember, you know, we are only 3 generations from slavery, you know. We're not that far from it, you know. Mm-hmm. We're not that far. Your great-grandmother was a slave. We can tell you that directly.
So I believe in myself based off what we're experiencing and what I've seen, you know, through news updates, that, you know, we're not really emancipated, and I'm just gonna scope to just Jamaica itself, because majority of the stuff it's really slavery. It's just that it's in a different form.
It's mental slavery. Mm-hmm. Mental slavery. Because we went through slavery, just like in America, you go through, they had the Jim Crow laws in the South. You went through slavery, then you went into a form of Jim Crow after the second reconstruction of the Constitution, where it became And they said that what? Men, black people are 350 human.
Mm-hmm.
That they made up that laws because they didn't want to give them land. Right? In Jamaica, it's basically the same thing. The colonizer, we went from a period of slavery to acute colonization, where 90% of the black people that are in Jamaica couldn't hold proper jobs. They couldn't live a proper life. And colonization lasted up until the 30s, 40s, 50s, until our independence, which is a farce, basically, that we're still not independent. We still have the laws that run the land from the 1800s, from the colonists, from Britain. Britain right before we laws, you know.
Yeah.
From them time there. Yeah. And we don't even start to touch it since. You know, really, I mean, most of those laws that were back then, that's why we have so much problem now. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Majority of what's going on really just people and mentality, the mindset. Everybody's just basically into the virtual world, and people just them segregate themselves from the virtual world and face reality. Everybody just under this pressure, depression, anxiety. But once they're into the virtual world, everybody's just happy.
It's a drug, as they say. As the people say who have analyzed what social media does to the mind, it's just like taking a hit off of marijuana, or I would say crack, because
the white lady.
Once you get likes, you get a rush of dopamine in your head. When you smoke ganja, it activates the dopamine in your head. You get more relaxed. You get happy. You know, it squeezes out certain things to you know, that certain thing. It squeezes out emotions. It makes your brain give you emotions by watching these things. That's why people can't put down their phone.
True.
You can't put down your phone.
That's true.
I can't plug out of the internet.
Yeah. There's a great attachment towards it.
It wasn't like that before, you know.
No, sir, but outside I play ball and marble and them something. But I tend to the social media. What was social media? The social media was just media, news outlet, and them stuff there, like commercials here and there.
No, you have YouTube, you have Twitch, you have
Spotify.
Social, you have Instagram, you have two forms of Instagram now, because you have Instagram that's still like Twitter. I have Instagram.
And it's not just the platforms alone, no. It's the fact that these platforms, once you get that right hit or once you get that right trend, you become like an influencer, a celebrity. So it's so easy to become so famous, so everybody's so addicted, so plugged in, so invested. Mm-hmm. Because it's a great chance for you to get popular.
Results, or you feel results. I don't know if you see results, but you feel it.
Yep.
You feel it and you just get trapped.
And then you get your fans them with ease. Yeah, that's true. It's unfortunate.
So you probably just end up seeing your life as a video game. If you're dead, you just restart. You know, I don't know.
Yep.
Just press the restart button. So a lot of people are doing that. They're pressing the restart button.
Yep.
So life don't mean much anymore.
And that's why I find that most people are just willing to work from home. Most people feel comfortable more now for work from home than even going into office. They hear say if we go in office, like, oh God, no, like we can't work from home.
Yeah. Yeah, and what you call it there? The corona situation, the pandemic did that to us where we had to be in our house.
Yeah, I'm more plugged into the social media life.
Yeah, I was on social media.
Yeah.
We're in our house and we're on social media.
I think that is how a lot of persons cope during the COVID time. That's how everybody just plugged in and just coped. Because whenever I have social media, probably a lot of persons will start lose it. Because that was the main entertainment.
No, people are still losing it, even with the social media during that time. Mm-hmm. But as I was saying, it forced people to like my generation, the 54, 55, 55 to 60 generation was forced onto social media at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we never took social media seriously. I remember when I went on Facebook in 2007, I realized what Facebook was. I said, this is going to change people's life because you can literally live on Facebook and see, and people used to put them whole life on Facebook, you know.
How can we now gear towards advising, as Boyd would said, the younger folks, they are more intense into the social media, it affects them more, it pressures them more. Versus Rochelle, you were saying not really because of this factor, that factor. But how can we advise either generation?
You do have some older people that still wish that they were young, so they do try to live in that life, or they do be trying to do things that's like that too. But I think it is. But overall, yeah, he's kind of correct with the younger ones, them too, because they do want to live this type of lifestyle. I guess a lavish lifestyle, or they feel like, okay, this and that. But you do have some older people that are like that too, where they do look at some people that are young because they do feel like they want to still be young.
Mm-hmm.
Or they missed out on their young days, like, you know, their youth days where it's like either some of them probably already had kids, they didn't get to have that full experience or this and that, and now they want to be like that. So sometimes you have it where certain situations happen like that. But nowadays, I say social media, it doesn't really have like a certain age, to be honest. Sometimes because some of these people you look at, you don't even know who young, you don't know who old.
True, that's true. That is true.
Don't know who young, you don't know who old.
Until they unmask themselves.
You can lie. You can live a totally different lifestyle on social media.
Social media, you can live any type of lifestyle you want to live. The only person who gonna know the truth is you and God.
and the people in your whole soul.
The reason why I say that, it's not like, oh, you're not judging, but at the same time, I just, maybe because to me and how I look at things is just that if that's how if I don't know you, I can't speak on you. Because I don't know how your life is. I don't really know how your life is. Like, even though you're putting it out on social media and you're like this and that, I don't know how your life really is. That's just like if you're putting something out, you know, like that's just like you would. If you're putting something out, I don't really know you. So I can't say that's not what you do. That's not how your life is.
I'll tell you something though. Mm-hmm. When I'm on social media, I tend to talk to a lot of people I don't know and get to try and know them. That's what I do. Have a conversation. What are you like? What are you this? I want to have that connection with you. No matter how much 100 people, 1,000 people you talk to, I want to talk to you because if I'm going to add you as somebody who follows me or add you as a friend or whatever, I will try and know you somehow. You know? And that's the MO I use. I do have a lot of people who are following me on Facebook, who are following me on Instagram, who are following me on TikTok. I have 50,000 people on TikTok, and I've never put up a video of myself. You know what I mean? I have 5,000 people following me on Facebook because they know me, and I built that amount of people over the years. I literally built that over the years. So, and I will go from time to time. This is the day I'm going to take to know and try and know some people who are following me. Who are you? Who are you? Where do you live? What do you do? You know, I'm going to ask those questions because I want to know who is it. And if I'm speaking to you over a period of time, I will definitely want to meet you in person. Yeah. I have to see you in person. You're not going to remain a virtual person to me for very much longer. Yeah. You know? And why is it that you want to meet some of these people? Like, what is it that you... The connection. I want to have a connection with that person. Do you feel like you need to have a connection with everyone? I try. Do you feel like... Okay. And why is it that you feel that... Why do you try to have that? Because it moves from the realm of virtual reality into reality. You take them from virtual reality because you are meeting somebody, you know. But if it remains in that space, that person is virtual to you. So you don't have to care about them. You don't have to give them anything. You don't have to say anything to them. You don't have to do nothing. You are just there. Social media thing and how you meet and where, and then if you meet up, you're still living in a virtual world.
But what advice could you give your generation? What advice would you give them on that basis?
The cat let out of the bag long time. So it's hard to put the cat into the bag after it has been let out. It is difficult. I'm glad that I know a life before social media ever existed. And that is the only thing that is pulling me through this life now. Because social media is a double-edged sword. It is. Mm-hmm. The more progression you make in social media, is the more regression you get as well. You get it will work both ways. So you have some time put everything into one vessel. So you can say, okay, you can't you don't do that anymore. Try and ease off yourself from social media and create a life that is outside of social media.
Well, thank you guys for being a part of this duo discussion. It was very interesting. Sure. It's a bit different, and persons have really requested a duo and to have a discussion instead of just only the answering and questions. So I think this was a very good one.
It's a conversation. I love to have conversations with people.
So it was definitely a good one. We touch on some insights that wouldn't expect to touch on, but you learn every day, and there's so many things that people are afraid to talk about, or even to say, okay, this is what's happening, and just accept that we need to get this sorted out. So yes, it was definitely a good discussion, good conversation.
Yes, it was.
Good topics were raised on that topic, and good insights were poured out there, and a little of our personal experiences. So thank you both, Boyd and Rochelle.
Thank you for
You're
having
welcome.
us.
Anytime.